My name is Ann Graham. I'm Executive Director of Texans for the Arts, the statewide arts advocacy organization, working in concert here with my colleague, Chris Kiley. And this is our Wednesday Texans for the Arts Arts Advocacy Update, a big mouthful. Every Wednesday from 4 to 4:15, we welcome you to join us on Facebook Live to learn about what's happening in the advocacy realm of the arts and culture sector. Texans for the Arts is a statewide arts advocacy organization, been around for 25 years, and we work to protect, secure, and grow the public investment in the arts at the local, state, and national level. At the local level, we work very closely with the municipal hotel occupancy tax to protect the up to 15% investment in the arts. At the statewide level, we work very closely throughout the legislative process with the Texas legislature and a legislative agenda that includes protecting the hotel tax and also protecting and growing the resources for the Texas Commission on the Arts, the statewide arts advocacy, the State Arts Commission. And then at the federal level, we work closely on issues, contemporary issues right now, around COVID relief and also support for the National Endowment for the Arts and Humanities and other parts of the arts and culture sector. Texans for the Arts is solely supported by our members. Our members are individuals and arts organizations from across the state, and we welcome your membership and your investment in this really important work. And you can always join and become a member at texansforthearts.com, and we'll show you the link in just a minute, but you can find us there. Speaking of the national landscape, of course, everyone knows that we are in very drastic and dire times because of the pandemic. And we know that this has had a tremendously negative impact on funding of the economy in general, and clearly also the arts and culture sector. As we speak, on the heels of other COVID relief packages from the federal government, but not for a while, Congress is meeting, both the House and the Senate is negotiating with the White House to try to pass two important bills. One is to keep the federal government funded, and it's an omnibus bill of $1.4 trillion to keep the government afloat. The current federal budget expires on December 18th at midnight, and they need to pass a budget beforehand so there's not a government shutdown. So that's one piece that's going on. And the other piece is a COVID relief bill, which would be set between $700 and $910 billion. And that is both a combination of, which would be PPP, you have heard that acronym before, Payroll Protection Plan, PUA, Pandemic Unemployment Assistance, and other unemployment, as well as many of you may be familiar with SOS, Save Our Stages, which is an effort to provide support for both nonprofit and profit theaters and performing arts venues to assist them with the fact that so many of them have been decimated again because we are not able to gather closely together, shoulder to shoulder in performance venues. So these are very important initiatives that are being decided right now, and we do encourage all of you to sign on to an action alert to Congress that addresses these issues and encourages more funding for the arts and culture sector. You can go to our website again, texansforthearts.com /TFA_action_finder. And we'll post that again at the end before we close up today. But it's really important for us to get federal advocacy to our congressional leaders and reiterate why the arts are so important and why it is so important for us to be passing these PPP and PUA and other federal assistance packages. Jumping to the state, as you probably know, we have a Texas legislative session, the 87th session, starting on January 12th, 2021. We've been gearing up for the past year for this, pre-COVID and into COVID, and the impact on our state budget is very, very deep, and we know it's going to be a tough session regarding funding for everything, let alone funding for the arts. We'll be actively working to advocate and support additional support and funding for the arts and culture sector, including COVID relief funds. One of the things we do biennially as part of the legislative session is we host typically what's called Texas Arts Advocacy Day. This year, we're calling it Texas Arts Advocacy Summit because it's actually going over 3 different dates. And it's a really important opportunity for you, our community advocates, community leaders, arts leaders, citizens who are interested in the impact that the arts have, your spokespeople within your own community, or you just want to learn more about how to have your voice heard in the legislative process and to make a difference. So this year we will be hosting a virtual event. We will not be able to gather in Austin in the Capitol. So we're hoping that we'll even have greater reach around the state because folks won't have the challenge of driving into Austin to be in the state capitol. So we're really hoping for a great turnout. Every one of your voices matters. We'll be working with you to set up legislative visits, and you'll be a really critical part. So this is a statewide call to action, and we hope that you will join us. To give more information about what our Arts Advocacy Summit is all about, I'm going to turn it over to, again, our Associate Director, Chris Kiley, and we can have a conversation about what a great experience it is for you to teach you more about building your confidence in terms of meeting with your legislators and establishing a relationship with your important to know who they are, to be able to have access to them, to build trust with them so that you can go to them when you've got issues to raise, positive challenges, and that they know who you are and they know the value of the work that you do in your communities and in their district, because we elect our elected officials. So Chris, what's an update on what our Arts Advocacy is going to look like this year?
Very cool. Thank you, Anne. And I would just want to echo what Anne said, that this is such a great opportunity. I've been involved with this organization for several years at this point, but way back in the beginning of all of this, I met Anne at a workshop where they encouraged us to attend Arts Advocacy Day. And I did not know anything about the process of how to go ahead and meet with my legislators and tell my story and make my case for the arts. Having attended several of these events now, I can say it is by far one of the most important pieces of our work. It has a lasting impact on those we elect, and it's a great opportunity for us to come together to make our voice heard. Generally, as Anne mentioned, we do this on a single day event and we all descend on the Capitol, and it is a great energy-filled, exciting day. But unfortunately, due to the events that we find ourselves in this year with the COVID-19 pandemic, we are going to be going virtual. So what does that mean? Unlike in doing it one day, historically, when one registers for Arts Advocacy Day, they will have a meeting scheduled for them with their legislators. One of the opportunities that this Arts Advocacy Summit offers us, because we won't be meeting in person, is a great chance for you, our base, to learn the nuts and bolts of how to schedule a meeting with a lawmaker. Part of the whole experience of Arts Advocacy Day is sort of demystifying the barriers that we sometimes put up for ourselves about how to advocate and how to begin that process. And what we'll be doing is be doing a sort of a three-stage event. All of these individual pieces are vital to attend because they all build on one another. Obviously, the third celebration being the most important when it's all over, of course, right? But the first step is key. That's when we're going to get together, and that's going to be on January the 26th from 9 until 10:30 in the morning, a 90-minute session. And in that session, what we'll be doing is providing you with all the tools you'll need about how logistically to go ahead and set up a meeting with your legislator. The reason we do this on the 26th, 2 weeks before our actual day of action, is because that is about the time frame in which we would be scheduling these meetings with our lawmakers. About 2 weeks out is a good barometer. So we'll be coming together on the 26th. We'll be showing you how to do that. We will also be taking a brief break in between and then offering this really cool panel that we're putting together of sort of the mechanisms of communication with your lawmakers outside of the actual advocacy meeting. We're gonna have some great marketing and media people come together and lead a panel to talk about things that you can do to communicate with your lawmaker when you're not in a meeting, whether that's an op-ed piece, sort of the information you can send to your lawmakers. I can let Anne maybe talk a little bit more about the panel afterwards, but once that being step one, which is what we call setting the stage, that gives our base 2 weeks for our registrants to go ahead, schedule the meetings. You'll also be connected with others from your districts, your state districts, both Senate and Representative, who register for the event, so that you can talk about the issues, what's important in your district and what you want to communicate with your elected official, and then bring to the table whatever that is when you come to your meeting. You'll have plenty of time to get to know them. It's a great opportunity to meet people in your district and get to know other like-minded arts advocates all over the state, but particularly in your local community. Once we come back on February the 9th, that is probably the most exciting day. That is our day of action. For that day, you'll be hearing from, pardon me, from a number of people. You'll be hearing from us, the staff here at Texans for the Arts, our lobbyist, Shannon Gangurdy. You'll be hearing from our partners at the Commission on the Arts, the Texas Cultural Trust, and of course, the Texas Hotel Lodging Associations, as we sort of talk about how we work in partnership and all the data that we need before actually going out into our meetings to address the most important parts of our legislative agenda. You'll get to learn a little bit about what that agenda is and how it impacts you, our base, whether it's in your just at your community level or the organization that you represent. And then we'll have a couple of great art breaks. We're not sure, we don't want to reveal too much about what those are quite yet, but that will be coming soon. And then of course, we'll be hearing from an amazing keynote speaker who will get us all motivated and excited about the power and the impact that the arts can have on all of our lives. And then that afternoon, we'll be going out to our virtual meetings with our elected officials. What we don't know quite yet is exactly what those meetings are going to look like. As we said, the legislature doesn't begin, or the legislative session that is, doesn't begin until the 12th. So when they all come together and finally get sort of settled in their offices, we'll have a much better idea of whether Texans for the Arts will be hosting Zoom meetings. I imagine that the legislature is going to have to solve that issue in some way because people are going to want to meet with them. So we'll be excited to see how that pans out. And we will certainly help you every step of the way to make sure that you are prepared and ready to go. Following that event on Tuesday, the 9th of February, we'll be coming together on the 10th in the afternoon from 5 to 6 p.m. for what we're calling a virtual happy hour. It's going to be a great opportunity for us all just to come, be in the same room, talk about our successes. I'm sure, because that always happens at Arts Advocacy Day, everyone will come together and feel so empowered and so excited about what they did. They'll have so much to share. So we wanted to provide the space for everybody to do that. So you'll be able to come in and do that with the rest of the group, and it'll be a really great time for all. In the meantime, the process by which you register for these 3 sessions, you'll be registering for one specific ticket for all 3 days. And we will be sure in the coming weeks to remind our base that no matter whether you register just that one time, it is only going to list perhaps one of the 3 dates, but all 3 sessions are important, and all of that information is available in the description of the ticket and will be plastered all over our social media and in newsletters in the coming week to help make sure that you know where you need to be and when. So we're really excited about it. I hope you register. We should have registration live by tomorrow, and it will be through Eventbrite. You'll just go ahead onto Eventbrite. If you search Texans for the Arts Foundation, you will find it will be the first event that pops up, and get yourself registered for free, because this year we're doing it at no charge to you, because we want to ensure that everybody who wants to participate and advocate has their voice heard. So I'll throw it back to you, Ann, to bring us home.
Great, thank you. It really is an empowering opportunity, and it's an important reminder for even those of us who have been working in this field for a long time, how important these meetings and opportunities are. And everybody has a story about how the arts impacts them, including our legislators, including their staff. Oftentimes the meetings that we hold are with staff. The legislators might be called out to a hearing, or they might not be available. And again, we're in the virtual realm, but whether virtual or in person, our legislators are interested in their constituents. They listen to them. They know they're elected by them. They care about their communities, and it's not an antagonistic relationship. It's about building a positive relationship and finding the common ground that we have about why the arts are so important and why the public investment in the arts is so important. So again, we will be going live with registration imminently, hopefully by tomorrow, no later. Again, go online and register, put all 3 dates on your calendar, January 26th, February 9th, and Chris, it's February 11th, 2 days after. That's okay. That's okay. And that's all in the Eventbrite. All the details are there. And you can also reach us at any time at info@texansforthearts.com if you have questions. So the call to action again today is to reach out to our federal legislators about the work they are doing as we speak. And again, you can go to texansforthearts.com/TFA_action_finder, or you can just go straight.
I'll just, not to interrupt you, but before we go, I'm going to pop this up so everyone can see. I have it here on my computer. If you go to our website, and as you said, if you just type in the search bar Action Finder, it will pop up and it will look something like this. And as you can see, anytime we have any sort of federal action, you'll have your Action Finder here. It's under our Advocacy tab. And then under here, you'll see two of these down, urgent support for the arts and COVID-19 relief legislation. You'll just click on that right there and it will help you all the way through. You can even see that we're live on Facebook here on the right, Ann.
Okay. And yes, so please urge support for the arts and COVID-19 relief legislation. That is the call to action as we speak. So please take a moment to do that. And while you're on our website, you can also become a member at TexansForTheArts.com. You can find that there's a big red join button. So we appreciate that. Looking ahead to next week, it's 2 days before Christmas, but we're still here every Wednesday at 4 o'clock. And we're inviting a guest, Nate Magaha, who is the Executive Director of Arts North Carolina, who's going to be speaking about, knock on wood, what we hope is a positive outcome of the COVID-19 relief funding. If we didn't want to jinx it and be talking about it too prematurely in terms of what all the details are, but we really look forward to bringing a national peer to join us here in Texas and to just learn a little bit about what they're working on, but also what this federal COVID relief package will be. So without further ado, we appreciate you joining us today. We hope to see you next Wednesday at 4 o'clock to 4:15 and sharing what we hope is good news for the end of the year, putting the year 2020 to bed, hopefully very soon, and looking for a brighter outcome in 2021 on so many fronts. And we also know that the arts are really what is helping us come together as a community, as a family, as a neighborhood, as a country, and how important it is for us to invest in the healing power of the arts. So thanks to all of you who work so hard in this field to make this work possible. We're all in this together, and we appreciate you joining us today at our weekly Arts Advocacy Action Update.
There you go. Thank you, Facebook. And here at TFA, we're wishing you all a very happy, healthy, and safe holiday season. Take care.
Thank you.